there's two British novelists who I'm very aware of having been influenced by. One of them is J.G. Ballard, and the other one is Kazuo Ishiguro. And I've been aware of his influence since I started writing. And in some ways that made it quite daunting to adapt a novel by someone who you admire very much and have consciously been influenced by. In other ways, it possibly made it easier because I was so steeped in his stuff and I'd thought so much about the way in which he tells stories and he holds information back and delivers it in a kind of drip feed way that I hope I was able to replicate that in a film context. He constantly makes you feel as if you are about to receive a piece of important information, and then he doesn't quite give it to you. He gives you half of it and then moves off somewhere else. And so you're constantly being tugged along by an underlying sense of mystery and shifting terrain. And I can imagine some people find that disconcerting. They like to know where they are within a story. But I find it very satisfying and very pleasing and very involving. I think it makes the reader feel like a participant in the narrative in some kind of way. One of the interesting things for me was why they accept what's happening to them. Whether you're a carer or a donor, you end up dead before your time. And they go to some efforts to try and defer the day where they actually die, but they don't try and escape it. They don't get in a car and try and head for a seaport and get over to Holland or something where maybe this isn't happening. It's never really explained whether that is the case or not in the novel or the film, but maybe it is, who knows. And but they don't try to do that. And I that for me was one of the truest and most important things about the story, because basically the story is about us. Obviously, that's what Ishiguro is writing about. He's saying this is what your life is like, and most people don't try really to avoid their fate. It's a story about love and the relationship between three people, and it happens to take place against this discreetly sci-fi backdrop, which informs the love story, and I think it makes it play out in a certain kind of way. But certainly the story in the novel is about universal themes to do with all of us, life and death and love and that kind of thing. And the science fiction elements of it feel like a landscape on which the primary story is being played out, as opposed to the sci-fi conceits being front and center. I personally don't see them as being front and center. I think they're in the background. Right from the first day we met him, Mark was completely on the same page as all of us, and he became part of a team that had been working on this already for a couple of years, and that could be a very difficult thing to do for him, coming to another country and coming into a group of people who already have some quite strong feelings about the film and stuff. But it felt seamless, actually, and and I hope that and that comes across, in the finished product, that that there was a consensus throughout, really, on the film.